Rushin. Lee Rushin.
Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished dignitaries, and assembled guests, but especially you, Matt. You delivered a speech to us called Three Greatest Hits. And initially, I wondered where you were going with three greatest hits, especially after you posed the question, raise your hands if you like things bad, when things go bad. Immediately, you captured and engaged the audience. It was thought-provoking, and that was pretty tricky because you also engaged us with a little humor by saying that there's always that one person in the audience that does enjoy it when things go bad. Obviously, you're an advanced speaker, and I say that based on the fact that you demonstrate all the foundational strengths that an advanced speaker should have in their toolbox. You demonstrated an effective use of your language, word choice, as well as during your delivery, you were thought-provoking. You also used a very interactive speech, very effective use of gestures. You entirely used your speaking area as well. And here's where I'd offer my first piece of advice. When using your speaking area such as you did completely, make sure your background is unblurred, which means you may want to choose a different area to present your speech so that you can have a clear background and not have a blurred background, which can be a little distracting. Nevertheless, I also applaud the fact that you were very emotive in using your gestures. You offered a master class in not only using gestures, but effective and impactful use of pauses. In terms of your gestures, when you wanted to keep the story moving fast and moving, your gestures were fast and clipped. Very pointed, but also very effective and not overused. In terms of pausing, pauses are something that a very basic Toastmaster learns to use very carefully, because if you pause for too long, it can be a ding. But if you overuse it, it could also be a ding. You very effectively use your pauses to not only impactfully tell your story, but also to impactfully share emotions in the moment. I also love the fact that you kept the action moving by asking questions. Ever meet a perfect person at the perfect time? I love that. It not only kept the audience engaged, but it also gave us an opportunity to, again, kind of immerse ourselves in the story that you were telling, your story. And about your story, I like the fact that you chose these three items, these three key moments in your life to tell us your story of overcoming. That's what your story seemed to be to me, a story of overcoming. In terms of keeping the story moving forward, I really enjoyed and found refreshing the fact that you were very animated. You used the gestures, as I mentioned before. And I think I can make the assumption, Matt, that we as an audience would love to hear more from you in the future. In terms of if there was something I would change, you posed a question to us early on, planted a seed, so to speak, by asking us, posing the question, is there anything that we would trade our past for? Again, man, at the very end, you told us we were Iron Men. I would like to see that be a stronger challenge for us to become Iron Men, turn our setbacks into comebacks. Again, I look forward to hearing from you more in the future. Mr. Contest Master.